how to throw an Australian boomerang like a pro by learning these 5 special steps. Brought to you by www.australiasouvenir.com. Imagine that you are standing in a field where you can feel the breeze, and you raise your hand and throw a boomerang towards the wind. Then you can enjoy looking at the spinning boomerang in the air until it's returning to the starting point, where you can catch it with your bare hands. Throwing and catching a boomerang is a form of art, as there are several spinning variations that one can achieve by using their own distinctive throwing methods. It's not just a wild imagination to achieve satisfying boomerang throwing results. In fact, you can basically achieve it by using the Australian boomerang. Step number 1. Identifying your own grip style. Similar to playing tennis, initially you need to grip the racket properly in order to make a great shot. In this case, whether you are using a left or right-handed boomerang, it's important to hold your boomerang appropriately so that you can have a smooth throwing process. If you prefer wrapping your forefinger around the front of the boomerang, this grip is known as a cradle grip style. If a grip method involves simple pinching gestures on the boomerang, it's known as the pinch grip style. As a beginner, you need to stick to one grip style in order to avoid unnecessary confusion during the throwing process. Step number 2. Determine the wind direction. The wind direction has a great impact on your throwing process. For instance, your attempt to spin your boomerang in the air could be a total failure if you blindly throw it without considering the direction of the wind. To identify the wind direction is by slightly licking your forefinger and pointing up to the air. If you're throwing a right-handed Australian boomerang, be sure that you throw it to the right of the wind direction. Throwing a left-handed boomerang, perform the similar action vice versa. Indirectly, you are actually throwing it tilted away from the wind approximately at 45-degree angle. Step number 3. Elevation has to be within head level. In this step, you need to imagine that person standing 3 to 4 feet away from you. Throw your boomerang within head level is to avoid throwing it overly above or below the head level. Step number 4. Use a giant round clock to identify the right layover angle. As if there is a big round clock in front of you, right-handed boomerang throwing professionals usually leave their boomerang over between 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock, which resembles ideal lunch hour. Left-handed ones, they will normally lay it over between 10:30 and 12 o'clock. Step number 5. Launch your boomerang throwing process. At the moment you are about to release your boomerang during the throwing process, always snap your wrist and then let off the boomerang so that it will spin in the air. If you lose sight of it soon after it's thrown up in the air, quickly turn away and cover your face with your arms. Within seconds you will hear it land and follow the sound that directs you to the landing spot. If you land distantly away from your initial throwing position, you need to use less force in the next throw. If the boomerang lands in front of a starting point, you need to throw it slightly harder. Always practice throwing your Australian boomerang until you are familiar with the whole throwing patterns. By mastering these steps above, you will definitely be a boomerang throwing professional in no time. To master boomerang throwing skills effectively, please refer to the comprehensive guide on throwing boomerang like a pro with detailed pictures by clicking on this link. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.